Hello there, what is going on everyone? We are back today with more Star Wars Legion previews. Pre-order articles are up, and this time it's the Separatist, including this super awesome wheel bike with General Grievous on it. If you guys are new here to the channel, we talk about Star Wars Legion, we talk about a lot of Star Wars games, and also tabletop games in general, science fiction games, Star Trek games, Battlestar Galactica, anything nerdy or science fiction based, and where that and tabletop wargaming mix is cool stuff that we'd love to talk about. Love to have you stick around. We're going to be announcing the winner to the latest $25 Amazon gift card giveaway at the end of this video, and the next giveaway kicks off right now. So if you want to have a chance to enter to win any of my $25 Amazon gift card giveaways or any other giveaways we always do some real special ones at the end of the year. Make sure you are subscribed. You just have to be a subscriber and leave a comment on one of my videos. It's as simple as that. And let's go ahead and jump into it. I'm still thinking about the whole thing about how I say this or one of my videos. If you notice from this date, or from, I guess, from last week and onward, anytime I used to always say this or one of my videos, and my God, I'm haunted by that. The glass has been completely broken. I can't say this or one of my videos because this is also one of my videos. So weird. You can say, like, 11 years I've been saying that. Well, no, I don't think I started at the very beginning. But I've been saying it for like close to 10 years. I've been having the exact same like tagline, and now it's ruined. I can't do it anymore. I have to come up with something else. I'm just gonna start saying cock-a-doodle-doo at the beginning of my videos. Cock-a-doodle-doo, everybody, let's go. Whatever. Let's kick it off. All right. So let's start with the droids, B1 battle droids. This is a pretty bonkers expansion when it comes down to cost per miniature. A lot of people, if you're already playing Separatists, you probably already have a lot of droids. So you're not probably going to need to pick this one up, but maybe you will, because instead of just the normal unit of 6, you can run the reinforced unit. So this one has 15 droids in there. 15 B1 battle droids. It's a lot. It boils down to something like $3.66 per miniature, which is a really, really good value. This one is it's pretty cool. When you look at how many you're getting in the box versus the cost, this one beats most other kits that they have out there. So that one's pretty cool. This one's up for pre-order. The customizable super tactical command droid. This one is a very interesting one. This one is an all-new expansion, although it's kind of a reprint, only from the context of it. They removed the T series, so you don't have that sort of generic commander. They removed those for all of the factions. You don't have your generic commander anymore. Now it's a customizable commander, so this is a replacement rather than a reprint. And it's definitely an upgrade when it comes to that, because you're going to have a lot of options on how you want to build this. And the interesting thing in this one is that it's not a T series. In this case, it is a super tactical droid. It doesn't even look like we have any version of a T series in here at all. So yeah, so here it says, when exceptional efficiency and strategy is required for victory, the Separatist Alliance deploys specialized super tactical droids to bolster the rudimentary battle programming of their droid army with their superior strategic leadership and combat skills. This Star Wars Legion Separatist expansion Super Tactical Command Droids expansion gives players customizable commander and operative units to expand their Separatist Alliance army. Does seem interesting that there's an operative version of this when these guys are primarily, like, they're super tactical droids. They're I don't know if there was ever an example of a super tactical droid acting as an operative. So I don't know how the operative function of this pack is going to work. We got some art from the box here, and we have this one also. Yeah, they seem like they would be better suited to command rather than standalone work like an operative would do. But who knows? I mean, I know you do kind of want a little bit of that symmetry between factions, or that could just simply be a typo. An interesting thing about this one is that we're going to get what looks to be at least 3 different sets of legs For the two models that they have assembled shown, you see kind of a standard super tactical droid leg at the top. You have more of a bell-bottomed super tactical droid at the bottom, which is kind of a little bit more reminiscent of kind of the T-Series look. And then you have a tripod of like spider legs featured in the over 20 different options kind of section towards the bottom. So it looks like that's going to be fun and cool. And again, I've said this with all of these customizable packs so far, you will want these. These are really cool. The fact that they're really doubling down into the build options, I think this is exciting. I think this is a great potential future path for them to go. I really want every box they make to have this, like, there's many options like this. If Atomic Mass Games can give us like more stuff like this in the future, that's really good for Star Wars Legion. It's really good for Atomic Mass Games. It's really good for the consumer to be able to get a lot more options with your dudes. I think it's great. A lot of the kits that we get, most of the kits that we get are there. You put it together the way it is, and there's no ways about that. Even a lot of GW kits now, a lot of the newer kits do that. I put a bunch of Caradron Overlords together, and there weren't that many options. Sometimes a kit will say you can build this as 2 different units, but depending on which one you build, it's the same way. You know, some factions have a little bit more, some have a little bit less. You know, in this case, this is a whole lot more, and this is great because whatever you don't use, you can save and have fun with, and do more kit bashing. I have a feeling, because we're seeing a cloak in here, that if you combine that staff and the cloak, you're probably going to be getting some kind of operative who can kind of be like the Magna Guard, like an elite Magna Guard version. I think that's probably what you're going to see for an operative version. But how cool would it be to see an elite Magna Guard on like spider legs, right? Like that sounds really fun. So I love the options. I love what they're going to, you know, give you options to be able to do here. It sounds cool. There might even be 3 different torsos, because the guy on the bottom with the circle on his chest doesn't seem to match the torsos that we see in the picture. So if there's 3 different options or if there's 3 different torsos and 3 different sets of legs, you could be getting enough to potentially build 3 different droids in this one. Although I'm sure, since it says only 2 droids, you're only getting 2 bases, so it probably won't actually be all of that. It does say just 2 miniatures and 2 bases. This one, more so than the other ones, looks like you're going to be getting enough to potentially build 3. And that works out so much better anyway, because they are droids. You could justify whatever you want. Like if there weren't enough legs, you could cut bits of sprue off and make those into the legs, right? If you wanted to. And that would be tournament legal, because it's still an AMG sprue. It's still AMG plastic. Am I right? Am I right? Probably not, but I let me know in the comments. I was really thinking about doing an April Fool's video where I just built droids completely out of AMG sprues and be like, tournament legal, let's go. It's all AMG plastic. That would, gosh, that'd be funny. All right, let's go on to the coolest part. Is General Grievous's Temu wheel bike. It's not Temu unless you get one from Temu, then that would be really Temu. The TSMEU. I just want to call it Temu. This thing is great. We've seen this before. Let me pull it a little over farther. There we go. We've seen this previewed at Adepticon, along with the like there's 2 other bikes. You can get like a double bike pack to go with him. That's one's going to feature a Magna Guard. The other one is like the little assassin droids. Like, it's cool. It's really, really cool. I really hope that, you know, between this and then Han and Luke on Tauntauns and like the mounted commanders and more vehicles and bikes and speeder type things coming into Legion, I hope we get some kind of racing variant of the game. Not necessarily like an official, like, oh, this is now the new way we play tournaments or something like that, but just like a fun thing for conventions. You know, that I would love to see. I'd love to go to Adepticon and see, like, in the AMG area, a giant like racing thing like the Bunta Eve Classic, and everybody gets like one vehicle, everybody gets one thing, and then you're racing. It's not about blowing each other up. Maybe you can, maybe you're distanced. Maybe if you shoot or attack somebody, you have your movement or something for that round or whatever. But I would love to see like a really fun just race that gets like, 12 people all going on at the same time. Like, that would be super cool. I don't think that's really where this expansion is trying to be. It's just saying, hey, I've been talking about wanting mounted commanders forever. Now, this tells us a little bit about this expansion, what we can expect, and some things that I wanted that we're not going to get. But overall, very, very, very cool. And the sculpt and the paint job on this thing, also very, very, very cool. Chef's kiss, mwah, to the presentation of this miniature. It's absolutely gorgeous. Okay. Says, General Grievous always prefers to lead his forces from the front. I don't know if that's true. Giving him ample opportunity to show his martial prowess. In this regard, no vehicle is better suited for his ferocious tactics than the TSMEU-6 wheel bike. Rugged and agile, the wheel bike allows Grievous to quickly cut a path through ranks of enemy troopers on the way to his Jedi prey. I almost thought he was going to say Jedi party, because I think he would not be invited to the Jedi barbecue with all those, with all those lightsabers he's got on his belt. But yes, great picture. I also really want to give a ton of credit to AMG's photography team. This is a great shot. They're doing really, really good with photos like this, and I think they're inspiring people. I've seen, if you guys follow Elle Firespray, great miniature painter, she recently tagged Star Wars Legion and a bunch of photos that she's done, similar style, getting the whole background and stuff. Some photographers just do a monocolor background, and there's nothing wrong with that, but I think it's so cool when you get an entire scene built up. And for something like this, it's a very cool thing. So great scene. It's beautiful. Love it. So that's the Grievous wheel bike. Now let's jump forward to let's jump forward to the B1 battle droids. These guys are coming out November 7th. $54.99. 15 miniatures. That boils down to about $366 per miniature. That's, I think, the best value we're going to be seeing in a standalone expansion. I think, of course, the Separatist starter is probably going to have the best value overall when you look at number of models you're getting compared to, the price tag. But yeah, so look at the back of the box here, and then there's the miniatures. This is nothing new. This is kind of why I didn't spend too much time on it. Let's jump forward, and then I need to hold on a second. There we go. I got to. Oh no! What is going on? I got to adjust my my. There we go. All right, let's go into the super tactical command droids box. $40, $20 a miniature, but this one is better because you're getting so much plastic. You're getting so many cool bits in here. Plus, lots of cards, lots of options. It's a super fun box. This one is great. I'm excited. Also, November 7th. November's gonna be a really cool month. I'm gonna have to pre-order all of this stuff. It just looks really cool. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And then when we go to Grievous, this one is not a very good price per miniature. However, this is a vehicle also. So let's talk about what we're not going to be getting with this versus what we are going to be getting, because we can learn a little bit from this. Now, I had long been asking for mounted commanders. This is one of those things that one of those moments where I'm like, I'm getting what I asked for, which is awesome. If only Gungans would follow. I gotta stop. No, don't mention Gungans. Don't mention Gungans. The more you say that, the less likely they're gonna come out. Every time I mention Gungans, Will Schick, like he has like a calendar, and he's like, oh, push it back another month. So I gotta stop doing that. I don't know if that's actually true. It might be. It could be. Probably not. Grievous is not going to be able to like dismount. It's one of the things I always wanted. If we go back to the days of Fantasy Flight games, they had mounted commanders in this game called Rune Wars Miniatures game, which was very, very cool. And you had a mounted hero that could dismount mid-battle and get off and fight with different stats. It'd be a little bit, a little bit weaker version of themselves, but if the mount took damage or something like that, it was super cool. I was thinking to myself, how cool would it be if when the vehicle blows up or whatever, then like Grievous can then dismount and or he can jump off of it early, or maybe he can get back in it or something like that. It doesn't look like you're going to be able to do that here because you're only getting one miniature, right? So when we look at the box art right here, by the way, the box is pretty, but the art is fantastic. It's really, really great. I love Grievous with the two lightsabers kind of shooting out the side. I expect this to have overrun. I think that seems pretty likely with a bike like this. Overrun sounds very likely. We're getting one plastic miniature, 5 cards, a token sheet, and an insert sheet. You're not getting a whole lot with this. 5 cards, it's could be a little tricky to find out exactly what we're getting here. But it says one commander unit, right? So only one. You're only getting the one. I'm guessing you're only getting the one commander unit card. So, from a certain point of view, it seems to me at first like, oh crap, he can't dismount. But then I stopped and I said, well, he can dismount. You just have to choose if he dismounts before the game, or after the game, right? You're choosing whether or not he'll be mounted or dismounted during list building. Because if you want to bring Grievous as a dismounted commander, you just bring the existing version of Grievous. If you want to bring him as a mounted commander, you bring this version. It would be cool, however, if he could dismount mid-game. And there may be ways for them to make that a reality at some point. Who knows? Theoretically, it's possible because you could just swap out the miniature. You could treat it like if he blows up, he gets out. But that could also be an alternate mode of play. If you did like a demolition derby kind of thing where everybody's in a vehicle and everybody gets like 2 lives. You're in the vehicle, but then if you get blown up, you get to jump out, kind of like a Geonosis arena or something like that, and then, oh my gosh, you could put Obi-Wan on the Varactyl or something like that. Oh my goodness, there's so many options for cool modes of play like that. And as somebody who just loves the minis and loves the show and tell and the fun, super goofy nature that you can come up with of these games, that sounds something that I think would be really cool. But as it applies to actual competitive Star Wars Legion play, he seems like he's going to be an aggressive, get in your face kind of leader. And I wonder if you want your commander really plowing, head first into enemy lines. That's a whole nother question. I think we're going to have to wait and see how this is going to look. I imagine there'll be some degree of armor on this thing, but is it going to be wise to put your commander in a bike and charge him forward down enemy lines where he's just going to get probably obliterated? That sounds really interesting to me. I'm not sure how well that's going to work. Will you be able to effectively run him without his little wingmen in bikes also? And how many could you run? How many bikes will you actually be able to run in a list? I'm guessing 4, right? Commander and then 3 supports or something, or maybe there'll be heavies. I'm not sure how all of that is going to work. Either way, it looks really fun, but it's also not going to be super cheap with a $60 price tag for one miniature. However, it's a decent-sized miniature. So I've got videos of these guys in the case from Adepticon. Like, they're good size. They're impressive looking. And they're going to be a lot of fun, so can't wait for these. All right, folks, we are going to jump into that point of the video where we announce the winner for the latest $25 Amazon gift card giveaway. And today's winner is Xenoc_Genesis. Congratulations, Xenoc. Just shoot me an email at mailcrabbok@gmail.com. And we'll get you your information, get you squared away. If you did not win, don't worry. New giveaway starts right now. You just got to be a subscriber and leave a comment on this or one of my videos or this video, because this one is also a video too. All right. I'll talk to you guys later. I want to thank you all so much for watching. May the Force be with you. Live long and prosper. Be excellent to each other. Party on, dudes. So say we all, and always wash your socks.